So, the subject for this video, of course, in the title, is about the cars in Fortnite and Rocket League. And it's probably my most favorite thing to talk about is the cars from Rocket League that come to Fortnite and whatnot. But, just for comparison, I was thinking to myself, and I've been thinking about this for a while, is what cars are still yet to come to Fortnite and what are compatible and maybe not compatible. So some cars obviously will not come, and if they can, I would like to see it. Like if Epic can find a way to fit some of the weirdest cars into Fortnite, that would be a neat challenge I'd like to see them do. But for now, I'm just gonna base this off of my predictions on what I feel works and doesn't. But first, for comparison, let's just see here. Now, I may not have all the cars from Rocket League, but what I do have is majority of the originals. This is what I'm covering right now, is what Rocket League original cars can make it to Fortnite. Not the Rocket Pass cars, and I'm not including any collab cars. I'm talking about the cars that are originally from the Rocket League shop or could be obtained through item drops. So the originals, not Rocket Pass cars and not like Lamborghinis, no McLarens, nothing like that, no brand name cars. I'm talking about the originals. And the only two originals that I am only missing is the DT5 and the Endo. Other than that, I've got all of the originals on here. So, to start off, we have there's the Backfire, the Centio, the Komodo, the Jagger, the Insidio, the Dystro, the Cyclone, the Mamba, Masamine, Nimbus, of course the Octane and the ZSR, the Tigress, the Samurai. I'll count the Red Line since it wasn't a Rocket Pass car. It was more of an event. The Peregrine Peregrine, and the Werewolf. And like I said, also among these, the Insidio and the DT5 I have yet to get. Those are literally the only ones I'm missing. So, that's all of the original Rocket League cars that are in Fortnite currently. And then amongst them all of the collab cars and the Rocket Pass cars. So now, I want to take a quick switch over to Rocket League, and we'll go down the list of the cars that are not in Fortnite yet that are originals. Okay, so if we go to Garage, Custom Cars, okay, and I'm just going to filter it so that we have base cars, deluxe, imports, exotics, black markets, not including the luxury, because that's all Rocket Pass stuff. Sport and special, I do not believe there are anything anyways, and I don't know about premium, and of course I don't have any legacy that I know of. I don't know. Okay, so we have, for all the original from Rocket League ones that are not Rocket Pass or collaborative cars. I know the catalog is appearing here, but it's because I'm including the exotic bodies, and there are more exotics besides the Cadillac, so we're just going to ignore that. But there's the Aftershock, the Aminus GP, the Breakout, and the Breakout Type S, the Dominus, and the Esper, the Phoenix, the Gizmo, Grog, and Hotshot, the Mantis, and the Marauder, and the Merc, and the Paladin, Protoss, the Ripper, and the Roadhog, as well as the XL Roadhog, the Scarab, And the Sentinel, I don't think I'll involve Sweet Tooth, no. The Takumi and the Takumi RXT, the Twinzer and the Triton, the Venom, the Vulcan, the X-Devil, X-Devil Mark II, and the Zippy. And that is a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 16, 17, 18, 19, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, around 29 original Rocket League cars that are not in Fortnite. So that means there's, in all, if by chance, there's an estimated, and by estimate, I believe I have them all, but I'm not quite sure. I think I might be missing something. Besides the Insidio and the DT5, there should be around 29 more cars that Fortnite has to choose from that are Rocket League originals, like originals. Now, though, the question is, what will work and what won't? Because if we're basing it off the current build of SUV body and sports car is a two-seater, not a four-seater, where SUV is the four-seater, not a two-seater. The SUV also has the differences of the SUV as in like 4 seats inside, or a pickup truck style of 2 seats inside, 2 on the back bed. So that would mean that if we're basing it off of the current build of the cars, how they work in Fortnite, unless they make it so that other options are available, then a majority of these cars I listed are not going to make the cut unless they either size them up or they introduce the ability for a passenger to sit behind the driver. So that means the Aftershock will be a no-no. It doesn't look big enough for 2 people to sit side by side. It would have to be like a jet, how a person sits ahead of the other. The Aftershock, unfortunately, I do not think will make it, unless any changes are made. That means also the Aminus. It's too much of a formula racer, so, and I know a lot of people like using the Aminus, and it sucks, I would use it too, but I don't think this will make it. But, then again, like I said, if Epic can find a way to make the impossible possible with these cars, I would like to see it. I would love to have all my cars in Fortnite, because as of right now, all of my I've got so many cars now in Fortnite at this point that every time I play, I just pick a random car and go with it. I can't choose. I have too many already. I love having too many cars. But the thing is that there's just so many. So, to have all my cars from Rocket League, that would be neat. Anyways, continuing on. And then it's like, the backfire worked. But see, the backfire also is a 2-seater. So, when you look at the size comparison between, say, the Aftershock and the backfire, it might work, but I don't know. Like I said, if they can make the impossible possible, that would be neat. The Breakout, now, here's the other thing that I figured. My theory is that if the Octane can work, this is a 2-seater in Fortnite. Its size in Rocket League, honestly, to me, does not evoke a 2-seater. It looks like a 1-seater. So, if the Octane can work, then my theory is that if the Octane can work in Fortnite, then surely anything bigger than the Octane can work. If it is bigger than the Octane's window and size in Rocket League, it will work in Fortnite. I'm certain of it. So then that also double guesses my original idea. The Aftershock could work. It very well could. Okay? There's this huge thing out there, right? It's this huge pie in the sky thing where they could either do it or they won't. And it's just a matter of time. We just have to wait and see what they'll come up with. So, like I said, if the Octane worked, the Breakout can too. I'm sure of it. The Breakout could work too. And the Breakout Type S, it could possibly work. I'm just gonna add this just to say that it would be cool to see the DeLorean in Fortnite. That'd be neat. The Dominus. The Dominus GT is in, okay? I don't own the GT because I don't like it. I like the original Dominus. If I'm gonna use Dominus, I'm gonna use this Dominus. This Dominus will work in Fortnite. I know it. It will work. We have cars that are bigger than it in Fortnite. The Dominus will work. I know it. The Esper won't work. I'm sorry, Esper lovers, but the Esper will not work unless they find a way to seat a passenger behind. And also, the other problem is that the window, like the Nimbus, they made it so that the roof of the car was solid instead of glass. Because in this game, it's all glass. The Esper does not have what could be classified as side windows. So, probably chances are the Esper is on the no-go to Fortnite list. The Phoenix is ready and raring to go to Fortnite. It is ready. It is waiting. It needs to be in Fortnite. And chances are, it probably will very soon. I'm certain. I can't wait to have my Phoenix in Fortnite. The Gizmo? Now, the Gizmo could work, honestly. It could work, because the window is much bigger than the Octane. And it does have what could be classified as side windows. Now, for its bulk, people will probably wonder, would it be an SUV? No, probably not. Because it only has side windows that look like driver and passenger. I think it will be a sports car. Grog, chances are, unless they do changes to it or whatnot to make it work, it probably is not going to work. Because, thing is, I'm just gonna set myself to flat, no animated decal here. Just so that it can be seen and not distracting. The Grog has no windows, really, at all. There's nothing to classify here as windows. So, honestly, the Grog is on the no-go to Fortnite list. The Hotshot, honestly, that is too tiny. That is smaller than the Octane for a window. The Hotshot, unfortunately, also fits into the no-go to Fortnite list. Unfortunately, the Hotshot actually is one of my favorite defaults. Okay, what else is there? The Mantis. Look how flat that thing is. Look how small those side windows are. Look how long that front window is. And look how narrow it is, too. Unfortunately, Mantis... yeah, it falls into my no-go to Fortnite list. The Marauder, though. I'd say the Marauder is somewhere's in between. It could work, but I could also see it not working because of how narrow its midsection is for the windows. I don't know. It could, but maybe not. I don't know. I don't know. The Merc will work. The Merc will work. I know it. The Merc will work. Fortnite, come on. We need the Merc in Fortnite. Now, I know people want the Merc because they want a free SUV body. But, to be realistic here, I wanted it to be an SUV too. But, to be realistic here, I get the idea that they want SUVs in Fortnite to be, non-game breaking. And they want windows to be basically panlining the entire thing from front to back so that they can be shot at. If someone is in the passenger or the back seats, they want people to be able to shoot through the windows and hit people. And I mean, you gotta be a good shot to hit anyone anyways in a moving vehicle like that, but do you see windows going down the back of the Merc? No, it is a solid build. The back body is completely solid. So, I honestly, if the Merc was in Fortnite, it would be a sports car, unfortunately, because of how it has only 2 side windows. It's just, that's probably what's halting it. The Merc just won't because of its lack of rear windows. Like, that would be very unfair, because then people who own the Merc, the passengers in the back would have an advantage of shielding. Now, what they could do is just make it so that it's rendered as glass, and they just shoot through it anyways. But, I don't know. There's that option. There's that option that they could make it that the sidings is just rendered as glass. But, who knows? It's whatever they figure out. The Paladin. Oh, I'm sorry, Paladin. You're not going to Fortnite unless they make forward seating and backward seating sports cars. Nope. Sorry, Paladin. And the Protus, I'm afraid you as well are not going to Fortnite. Like I said, again, if they can make the impossible possible, I would like to see it. But for now, the Protus, no. The Ripper. Okay, the Ripper, they actually could have done back in Wrecked. They seriously could have given us the Ripper, but they decided not to. Now, I know a bunch of people wanted it. I did too. I wanted it literally day 1 of that season. But what's stopping it, I find, is the lack of glass windows. It is using armor on the windows, as you can see, which, just like the Merc, seems like an unfair advantage. But, also, they could have just rendered it as glass texturing. Instead of it being a solid surface, they could just render it as glass, but colored, you know? It's like how they made the Nimbus, the roof of the Nimbus, a more solid texture. In this game, the Nimbus is a full bubble of glass. There's no dedicated roof to that. But in Rocket League, most of the top is a darkened out circle, because it's a roof. So if they could do that to the Nimbus, then surely they could make glass texturing on other vehicles. I don't know. The Roadhog. Now, maybe I could see the Roadhog working like a pickup truck, like the Cybertruck and like the Dodge, where it's got 2 people sitting up front and maybe 2 on the back, right? Maybe. They could do it. But where it's more built like a block, I could see it falling in a sports car category. It's weird, but I could totally see them putting in vehicles like trucks and things that could fit as SUVs as sports cars. Kind of like the whole BMW Series 1 kerfuffle. It could have worked, but it didn't. Well, who knows? Whatever. The XL, once again, it could work. It'd be cool. And I mean, it's not like it has to be an SUV either. It would be cool just to have these cars in Fortnite just for the freaking, for the giggles. Just for the kicks and giggles. It'd be fun. The Scarab, no side windows at all. It is completely armored. It's only a front window, so I don't know how people could lean out the side to shoot. Unless, like I said, then again, texturing, make it so that the sides are glass, whatnot. But the Scarab honestly falls into the no category. Sentinel. Sentinel. Ugh. Oh. It could be the Mantis all over again, but maybe not. It does have a similar shape to the Komodo for its, front and whatnot, but I'm gonna put the Sentinel in between. Could or couldn't. Takumi, it's ready for Fortnite. It can come to Fortnite. Chances are it will eventually. It's a car that a lot of people use. It will be there soon. As well as the RXT. The RXT could also fit. It's the same car. The Triton, that window is way too narrow. Yeah. No. I don't think the Triton could fit in Fortnite. The Twinser could, because it's literally the Octane's cousin. Like, it's just an Octane without the spoiler on the back. The Twinser is just the Octane's little brother. That's all it is. And it could come to Fortnite. It's ready. I would rather have the Twinser than the Octane, actually. I like the Twinser a bit more. It looks cooler. The Venom, it could. It could. Yeah, maybe. The Vulcan, no, because of how narrow that midsection is. It's just, there's no side windows. I don't know. Okay, the X-Devil, I want to say yes, but I don't know. It's just it lacks side windows, and it doesn't have a big enough window bubble like the Nimbus. So, possibly. And the same thing for the Mark II. And the Zippy could. The Zippy, yes, the Zippy I want. I want the Zippy in Fortnite. It's such a cute little car. It's so cute. It's got sizable side windows. It's got the right size front window, and it's just a cute little bug. It's so precious. The Zippy will definitely work in Fortnite. And I just remembered, there's another car that I am missing from this list. It's a blueprint. We also have the... Aha! The Jackal. Sports car body. Basing off what they did with the BMW. Sports car body. It'd be cool as an SUV, but, sports car body. Yep. But a Jackal would work. 100% it would work. And it's only a 500 credit blueprint, too. So, that's cheap. That's pretty, decent. If you have a blueprint of it, it's craftable. Like, seriously. I don't know why I haven't crafted mine yet. Eventually I probably will. If it comes to Fortnite, then I'll definitely craft it. But that seems to me, that seems to be all the originally from Rocket League original cars that have yet to come to Fortnite. Now, the only ones I'm missing, of course, and that are already in Fortnite though, are the Insidio and the DT5. Those both are already in Fortnite, and those are both original Rocket League cars. So amongst the lists that I shown that are already in Fortnite, and compared to the ones that I have in Rocket League that are yet to come, that's pretty much the basic majority of the comparison of the cars that have yet to come to Fortnite, and the will they or won't they work situation. And what it seems is that there's a majority of they won't or they're questionable compared to what is left that actually can 100% work. So that means there's not too many left to pick from that are original Rocket League cars. So I'm thinking maybe, and I hope they do this, is I really hope they start picking from past Rocket Pass cars. Because I would love to have more Rocket Pass cars in Fortnite. Like the Primo. This car right here. Why is this not in Fortnite? This would be perfect in Fortnite. It's such a good car. It's so cool. I'm wondering if maybe it's just, maybe the roof is too low. But I mean, look at the Quadra. The Quadra is basically to the ground. And the Lambos are to the ground. So if those are in Fortnite, then surely this could work. And I guess we could run the quick comparison of all the Rocket Pass cars right quick. Let's just see here. Luxury. So, just the quick rundown of all the Rocket Pass cars. Just to compare it. This is all the Rocket Pass cars that are not in Fortnite yet. The Ace, and I'm going to include before free to play. The Ace isn't in. The Artemis, though the Artemis probably won't work. The Ace can though. Look at it. It's ready. The Shikara could. The Emperor could, and I want the Emperor. Give me the Emperor. Need it. The Guardian could work. The Harbinger could work. The Honda Civic could work, and I need this thing in Fortnite. I need it now. The Maestro could work. I need it. The Nexus could work. I need it. The SC Nexus could work. I need it. Nissan Silva. Need it. Nomad. I mean, it's goofy as frick, but it could work. It'd probably be an SUV because of the size of it, but who knows? Outlaw, possibly. Porsche 911 Turbo, don't even have to freaking say it. Primo, already said. R3MX, possibly. Ronin, maybe. Volkswagen Golf, yep, it could work. Like, that's all the Rocket Pass cars that, like, they all could work. All the Rocket Pass cars could work. So, like, seriously, what's holding them back? Like, I really hope they release the older Rocket Pass cars to us in Fortnite. That'd be neat. I would love to have my older cars. Like, just a bunch of them. They all work. Compared to what's left of the original Rocket League cars and the Rocket Pass cars, it would seem to me that the Rocket Pass cars have the greater majority over original cars that could work. And it's clear, it seems to me, that from this point going forward, they're going to be releasing Rocket Pass cars into Fortnite. Unless it's like something like dramatically that just won't work. But that seems to be the current gist of it all. that is the comparison of what will work, what won't work, and the Rocket Pass cars from the past that they could dig into. They've got a lot of Rocket Pass cars that they could use. They've got a handful of originals that will work, but there's also a huge load of originals that it seems like the pickings are getting slim for the original cars, which kind of sucks, but that just means that they're saving the best ones for, you know, when they really have to scrape the bottom of the barrel. So let's hope they start releasing, the ones that we've been wanting. And then after that, I really hope they start going into the old Rocket Pass cars. That would be really neat. Um, but yeah, that seems to be all of it for now. I would also like to really quickly let's just go on to Rocket League Garage, and there's like a huge list of cars that we can look at. Basically, it's the entire database. So let's just see here. My mic is plugged in this time. That's the third time I'm going to have to record this. This part forwards, I have said about 3 times to myself now. I probably sound like a goof to everybody else in this house. So, as I was trying to say, but the mic apparently wasn't plugged in for the past 4 minutes, this video has gone on for long enough already. So, but anyways, I decided to look at the entire list of cars that exist in Rocket League on the Rocket League Garage database. And basically, the only things that I did not list here are the exclusives, like the Xbox exclusive Hogstick and the Armadillo, and the Nintendo Switch exclusive Luigi, Mario, and Samus gunship cars. You know, those I don't think will be in Fortnite unless, say, like, they decide to just say, since Fortnite's on, on Switch, maybe they'll just allow them on there for Switch users, but for now, it doesn't seem likely. And then just like, the other than that, there's nothing more than what I have already listed already from my own garage and what has and hasn't been added yet. Um, Also, the Harbinger, the original version, and Harbinger GXT, the original Harbinger has a back body with windows. So comparing it to the GXT, I think the original would work rather than the GXT version. And then just there's really nothing else that's really mentionable. I mean, like there's the Ecto 1 that could work as an SUV. Uh, all the Hot Wheels collab cars. I mean, unless Hot Wheels collabed with Fortnite, maybe. But until then, probably not. And then it's just, from there, it's just a bunch of frigging collaborative brand name cars and stuff, like Bumblebee and Lightning McQueen, Lamborghinis and stuff, the Batmobiles and all that. It's just a bunch of cars that probably, for now, won't be in Fortnite until they figure out how to make them work. So that's basically it. That's the entire thing. This is, at this point of recording, this is my definitive list of cars and the comparison between will they work and won't they work in Fortnite, and all of the old Rocket Pass cars that they could port to Fortnite. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I believe I have gone through all of the infos at this rate. This video has gone on longer than it needed to. Way longer. But, I figure it's probably best that I did it this way instead of 3 or 5 separate other videos covering all these things instead. So I find, mentioning all of the facts and details in one sitting here and now is probably the better way to have done this. That way we have all of the infos on all of the different fronts of the cars in Rocket League and what could come to Fortnite. Hmm. So yeah, I believe that is it. And I thank you all for watching up to this point. If you have watched this video up to this point, then a round of applause. I don't think anyone really watches my videos up to a point like this when it's a long video. So, yes, I applaud you if you watched. I just make these videos for a hobby. I just really like Rocket League and all that, and I just really love how they transfer our cars from Rocket League to Fortnite. It's a lot of fun. It's what got me into Fortnite the most, really, is the fact that I could play with my favorite cars from Rocket League in a more open world sense. It's what I've always wanted, and just the thought of having all of my cars in Fortnite is just a really neat thing. But yeah, alright, until next time.